After Lily and Dorothy left Kevin and his parents at the hospital, they got a call telling them that they needed to go see Grandma Jones. When Lily got to the family mansion, Jason informed her that the family's money had been funneled into the import-export company that Tyler Dawn had given her. Now, Grandma wanted her to give up her shares in the family business.
"Grandma, do you really want me to hand over my shares that badly?"
Lily asked hesitantly. This news had really upset her.
"Lily, I don't want your shares for myself. I only want you to return them for the sake of the entire family. But I guess you don't want to see the Jones family succeed, do you?" her grandmother gently advised her. "Face it, you aren't the best of our family's younger generation. Don't let your thirst for power bury the rest of the family," Grandma Jones said sternly. "Why don't you just transfer some of the shares and then set up a board of directors for the family? This might seem like a step down, but you would still control the board's leadership. At the same time, you could also get more experience. What do you think?"
This plan got Jason very excited. He knew that Lily would no longer control the Jones family's affairs as soon as she handed over her shares. Lily was silent for a long moment as she considered her options. Finally, she let out a long sigh and nodded gently. She knew very well that it was only because of Tyler Dawn's help that she had found herself in the top position in the Jones family. But this wasn't enough to get her relatives to listen to her.
"Do you agree?"
Grandma Jones asked happily.
"I'll do as you say, Grandma. In any case, I don't seem to have any choice," Lily said in a low voice.
"Okay, Lily, I'm glad I haven't misjudged you," Grandma Jones said cheerfully. "We've already drawn up the necessary documents. You can look them over before you sign."
As soon as she said that, the Jones family's accountants and attorneys immediately took out several documents for Lily to sign. The next 5 days passed by very quickly. After his parents had recovered from their injuries, Kevin decided to return to Williams Media to see how things were going. "Kevin, I'm really sorry about this. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be riding a scooter right now," Dr. Willow said apologetically. At the moment, she had her arms wrapped around Kevin's waist as she sat on the rear seat of the little moped. "That's okay. Anyway, I'm used to getting around on a scooter," Kevin said casually as he weaved through traffic on the way to his office building. The two of them seemed to be drawing a bit of attention from passerbys. They looked a little too old to be riding around the city on a little scooter, and Kevin felt slightly self-conscious about it. It all had started 2 days ago when Kevin headed out with Dr. Willow to buy some clothes for his parents. Dr. Willow mentioned that she was planning to buy a car, but since she got her driver's license, she hadn't practiced much, which made her a little anxious. So Kevin decided to help her out by finding an empty parking lot so she could practice driving without any traffic. Then he gave her the key to his and let her get behind the wheel. Unfortunately, she drove the car right into a light pole and then another one. The car was still at the body shop and Kevin had no idea when he'd get it back. So he decided to ride his scooter for a while just for fun instead of taking one of his other cars. They soon arrived in the Williams Media parking garage. "Wow, Kevin, is that person over there Brittany Davis? I really like to listen to her music. I sure didn't expect to see her here in person today," Dr. Willow said excitedly. "Do you really like her? Would you like her autograph?" Kevin asked her. There had been a lot of changes at Williams Media lately. For some unknown reason, a few of their clients had suddenly canceled their contracts and the company had suffered huge losses from it. That was why Kevin had decided to stop by and find out exactly what had happened. But right after Kevin parked his scooter and he and Dr. Willow got off, a black car suddenly crashed into it, almost demolishing the little bike. Why do so many people crash into scooters in this garage? Kevin thought to himself. Soon, a young man in a business suit and shiny leather shoes quickly jumped out of the car. He looked at the big dent in his fender and got very upset. "What's wrong with you? Why did you park a scooter in this garage? Do you realize how much this car cost me? Now this is going to cost you," the man shouted at Kevin. Are you kidding? You're the one who hit us. Don't turn this around and make it look like it's our fault, Dr. Willow told him. She didn't show any fear as she stood up for Kevin. When the man saw Dr. Willow, he was speechless. She was very beautiful in the way she was dressed. She could have been one of the celebrity clients at Williams Media.
"Hi there," the man said as he tried to charm her. "Were you riding on this little scooter?"
Just then, a young woman in her mid-30s stepped out of the car. "Logan, how is the car? Is everything all right?" Kevin was stunned when he saw the woman. It was actually his college advisor, Professor Charity Boyer. "Kevin, what are you doing here?" Charity asked with a surprised look on her face. "Do you work for Williams Media?" "I'm just hanging around," Kevin replied. The driver, whose name was Logan Morgan, said with a sneer,
"You must be mistaken, Miss Boyer. The way this guy is dressed, do you really think he works here?"
Charity suddenly sighed when she heard that. Tucker had mentioned to her that after Kevin graduated, he ended up drifting around. He even went to freeload off his in-laws, and he had turned into a real loser. "Kevin, I told you when you were in school. You have to take responsibility for yourself. Don't expect everything to just fall into your lap. But it sounds like you didn't take my words to heart," Charity said very seriously. "Take a look at what Brittany is doing. She was also one of my students, and now her career is taking off. And Tucker is currently the manager of a large company. How did you end up like this?" She kept scolding him.
"So you were one of Miss Boyer's students?"
Morgan asked Kevin.
Then he thought for a moment and said, "For her sake, I won't argue with you about this. Just pay me $10,000 and we'll call it good."
"You're being very unreasonable," Dr. Willow replied, sounding very unconvinced. "Not to mention that you're the one who hit us. And let's talk about your car. It can't be worth more than $40,000. Do you really think this little dent will cost $10,000 to fix? You're just being greedy." "Kevin, is this young woman your wife?" Charity asked curiously as she looked at Dr. Willow. The question made Dr. Willow suddenly feel very self-conscious. "No, please, don't misunderstand. Mr. Williams and I are only friends." "Wow, Kevin, things must be pretty miserable for you. Even your own wife isn't willing to admit that she knows you," Charity said regretfully. "I also told you that a person needs to have some ambition. But did you listen to me? Just look at you now. This is the result of your lack of motivation." Charity's face showed her disappointment as she said this. "Professor Boyer, we aren't in school right now. Why do you feel like you need to teach me a lesson?" Kevin asked with a faint smile. "Stop slacking off. Once a teacher, always a teacher. Even when one of my students graduates, I still feel responsible for them. Seeing how you are now, I feel ashamed for you," Charity said coldly. She continued to scold him relentlessly. "When you see how well your classmates are doing, doesn't that have any effect on you? Are you really happy to be mooching off your in-laws?" When Kevin heard this, all he could do was shake his head. He still hadn't gotten over the big scene that Dorothy made in his parents' hospital room, nor the fact that Lily still didn't trust him. Kevin had completely given up on the Jones family and was determined to never go back to them. "All right, if you don't want to listen to me, then I have nothing more to say to you. You have to live your own life," Charity Boyer sighed in disappointment. "If you damaged Morgan's car, then you need to find a way to fix it for him."
"What Miss Boyer said just makes a lot of sense. Listen, even though my car isn't expensive, it's brand new," Morgan sneered. Then he added, "And don't you know you can't park scooters in a parking space that's reserved for cars?"
"Did you just make up this rule?" Kevin almost laughed out loud when he heard him say that.
"I'm sure you're jealous of people who can own real cars, but that's just the way things are," Morgan said mockingly.
What more could Kevin say to someone like this?
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.